I did a video recently talking about a solo agent versus a team when you're looking to join a real estate company. And today I'm talking about who you should hire. If the solo agent versus the team. Let's get into it. As you've probably realized, when you're looking to hire an agent, you've got to make sure that this person is competent and successful. So in real estate, the 80-20 rule applies, which means the top 20% of the agents do 80% of the business. Now, yes, there are some top producing solo agents out there, but I would say that most of the teams would fall into the top 20% category. So that's a good place to start right there. Not to say that some of the 80% of agents don't sometimes fall into a team role. They typically do, though, have a structure with that team in place. Now, from the perspective of a team, there's so many different types of teams and so many different perspectives on how to approach real estate teams, so that it's important to do your research to make sure, is this an organized, structured team that has good systems in place, or are they really just running around like chickens with their heads cut off, just claiming that they all work together as a team? I used to be a solo agent and now I'm a team leader, and what I can honestly say is that I focus on the activities that are the most productive. And when you hire an agent, essentially, what are you hiring them for? You're hiring them to sell your house or to help find you a house. And if a solo agent is busy doing paperwork and caught up in all the different mundane tasks that take place during a real estate transaction, and even if they are successful and have multiple transactions on the go, how much dedicated time are they giving you with your transaction, as opposed to when you do hire a team, you have specialists for administrative stuff. You have specialists for marketing related activities. You have specialists for customer service related activities. And then the agent that you've actually hired is going to spend the majority of their time looking in the marketplace for buyers for their sellers and sellers for their buyers, which in my opinion is a win-win for the agent and for the client as well. You might be surprised to find out that there's a lot of real estate agents in this industry that treat this more like a job than a business. Now, most successful real estate agents do treat this like a business, and in order to run a successful real estate team, you have to run it like a business. If you don't know your numbers, if you don't know what's coming and what's going, you can't operate efficiently on a daily basis. However, I will say solo agents that are really good at what they do are involved in every step of the process with you along the way. So number one, you're getting AAA grade quality service from a good solo agent from the beginning until the end, every step of the way. And it's less likely that a solo agent is going to have communication that gets lost in translation, because you're always communicating directly to that agent. No staff person, no secondary teammate, no customer service representative. It is direct. What I want to do next is break down the different roles of a real estate transaction, just so that you know, if you're hiring a solo agent, you're hiring them to do every single one of these duties. And as a team, in a perfect world, you're going to have an individual person for every role. I digress. Number one, of course, is the team leader. And this is the person who is the rainmaker. This is the person who essentially runs the whole show. The listing agent is quite simple. You might see a listing agent take part as a listing partner, or it might be one person who takes all of the listings, or a couple few listing agents who that's all they do is take listings. And then of course you've got the buyer side of things, where the buyer's agent will specialize only in working with buyers. And when you work with buyer's agents, I always say you can only show one house at a time if you're a solo agent. If you have 3 or 4 clients that all want to see houses all at the same time, how could you possibly service all of those people all at the same time? And a buyer's agent is going to be very good at presenting a property to a buyer, because they will be able to say, I've seen this house before, or I've been in that house across the corner, or I just finished with a buyer in this price range, and I know every single house that's been on the market in this price range over the last 6 months, because I'm very, very specifically active in the market all the time, boots on the ground. The next role is an inside sales agent, which is essentially the person who does a lot of the lead follow-up, person that does a lot of the lead generation, a person that scrubs a lot of the online leads, a person that does a lot of pre-qualifying in order to nurture a lot of these relationships so that they can essentially put it on a silver platter so either the listing agent or the buyer's agent can run out and service that client when they're ready. A marketing specialist is exactly what it sounds like, and today's day and age, it's somebody who's going to help you with your website. It's somebody who's going to help you with your social media content strategy, maybe helping you post certain things on social media, or even help you create content that you can put out online. Then you've got your administrative staff person, who of course is going to make sure that they take care of the basic side of the ongoing real estate stuff, like incoming emails, managing different databases, keeping your data up to speed and on track, etc. And don't forget the transaction coordinator, which is different than an administrative assistant. Sometimes they will do both duties, but oftentimes the transaction coordinator is somebody who only works in the transaction. They are going to help you book home inspections. They might even help facilitate minor repairs. They're going to help go get the estoppel package. They're going to help book showings. On and on the list goes, with duties very specific to the transaction, like uploading listings, uploading your documents to make sure that they get off to the lawyers on time, etc. You might also have an internal sales coach. Whether you hire that out or you have somebody in-house, or maybe one of your teammates is a senior partner who takes on this role, this is the person who is going to make sure that any newer agents on the team have hands-on guidance to make sure that everything goes smoothly no matter who they are servicing, so that the ball never gets dropped. Not everybody is a good real estate coach. We have some really good real estate agents that aren't good coaches. We have some very, senior agents that are solid producers that are exceptional coaches. So some people are good at it, some people aren't, but it's important to have somebody that's making sure that the newer agents are supported and doing everything correctly. And then if you're working with a bigger team, you're going to likely have an operations manager so that the team lead isn't doing everything. They have somebody who's taken on the role of making sure that everybody does the right things. You've got somebody who's helping you with hiring and firing, human resources, etc., just like a regular company would offer, because as I mentioned, running a real estate team is very similar to running a real estate brokerage or running any other legitimate business. Now, regardless of whether you're hiring a solo agent or a team, every single good real estate agent is still going to be doing a very good job of outsourcing and utilizing their network as a team. So I'm going to give you a list of affiliate referral partners that agents should have that includes the following, but are not limited to. We have mortgage lenders, home inspectors, appraisers, title companies or lawyers, of course, home warranty companies, property and casualty insurance agents or fire insurance agents, fire and flood contractors, home staging companies, interior designers, architects, general contractors, HVAC companies, plumbing companies, electrical contractors, roofing contractors, landscaping companies, pest control companies, cleaning services, moving companies, storage companies, real estate attorneys, tax advisors and accountants, financial planners, home automation companies, cable and internet providers, utility companies, home security companies, alarm systems, locksmiths, handyman services, home improvement stores, furniture stores, appliance stores, flooring companies, painting contractors, window and door companies, real estate photographers, virtual tour companies, sign and post companies, printing companies, marketing and advertising agencies, event planners, catering companies, homeowners associations, neighborhood associations, local government offices, schools and universities, healthcare providers, fitness centers, pet care services, entertainment and leisure destinations, because we do have a lot of clients that move in from out of town, or people that just aren't as networked as we are. When you hire an agent, whether it's a solo agent or a team, you've got to make sure that they still work as a team, because another factor with solo agents is everybody goes on vacation. Everybody has a personal and a family life. So if they don't at least collaborate with other agents, who's going to cover their business when they're on vacation? So make sure you do your due diligence if you're hiring an agent. Thanks for being here today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on this video next. Have a fantastic day.